Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. I have been solving math problems for GRE out of this book here, practicing to take the GRE general test, the 10th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase it immediately. If you're going to sit for the GRE. Don't waste your time and your money buying all the other stuff on the market. I'm sure they are great products, but they are fake exams. Why waste your time and money practicing the fake exam when you can just as easily get your hands on the real exam? There are seven real exams in this book, given by the same people who are going to give you your exam. Number 7 is what I'm going to do right now. The problem that I'm about to solve is the one that you're going to find on page number 279, quantitative comparison question, number 7. Let's take a look at it. Before I do number 7, let me ask you a couple of questions, okay? Let's do them here. How much is square root of 100? And of course, you're going to sit there and say to yourself, why the hell is he asking me something simple as that? The square root of 100, of course, is 5. Now, perhaps this wasn't a good example. This wasn't a good example. Let me redo something. Oh, okay, all right, okay. Oh, sorry. Square root of 100 is not 5. Square root of 100 is 10. And how much is square root of 25? The square root of 25 is 5. Right? So this basically boils down to 10 over 5, which is, of course, 2. This is one way you can do it. This is one way you can figure this out, which is to figure out the top by itself and figure out the bottom by itself, and then realize the top is 10, the bottom is 5, and therefore equals 10 over 5, which is 2. Notice I avoid using the jargon, the terminologies, the geeky talk. I refer to these as top and the bottom, and of course, if you knew the terminologies, the top is referred to as numerators, and this is the denominator. So one way to solve this problem is to figure out the numerators and the denominators separately, like I did here, or here's another thing could have done it. Put them together from the very beginning. 100 over 25. In other words, square root of 100 over square root of 25 is same as the square root of 100 over 25. And since 100 over 25 is 4, so we are basically being asked to figure out the square root of 4. And of course, square root of 4, as we all know, is 2. Voila. You see? Let's do one more. Let's do one more and then we'll do something else. Square root of 36 over square root of 9. Well, it's going to give you another square root of 4. That's not interesting. How about let's do square root of 4 underneath. Well, I know square root of 36 is 6, and we know that square root of 4 is 2. So I'm being asked to figure out 6 over 2, which of course is 3. This is one way to do this, which is again to figure out the numerator and denominator separately, or I could put them together from the very beginning. The square root of 36 divided by square root of 4 is same as taking the square root of 36 over 4. And since 36 divided by 4 is 9, of course square root of 9, as we all know, is 3. There you go. So that's what we're going to do here. Here, in this particular question, number 7, we're going to have to use this approach. We cannot try to figure out the top and the bottom separately, because here they give you square root of 8. And square root of 8 is not a whole number. Trying to figure it out by itself, trying to figure out the numerator and denominator separately will be pure hell. I'm not going to spell it. The word is adulterated. The word adulterated comes from the word adultery, and of course you know what adultery is. Adultery, in the pure sense of the word, means something that is adulterated means not pure. Oh, sorry. Yes, that's right, not pure. Adulterated means not pure. Comes from the word adultery comes from adulterated. And the word unadulterated with the prefix un, u and un attached to it in the beginning, unadulterated would of course which would mean pure, because adulterated means not pure. Unadulterated, I was going to say, trying to figure out the square root of 8 and square root of 2 separately, I said would be pure hell. Pure hell is not what I wanted to say. What I wanted to say would be unadulterated hell, but I didn't say that but then I couldn't control myself. It doesn't hurt to make work on the vocab at the same time. It does not hurt to work on the vocab. So let's put them together. The square root of 8 over square root of 2 is same as the square root of 8 over 2, which of course is square root of 4, which equals 2. And what do we have in the second column? So this is our column A. Column B we have the square root of 12 over square root of 3. Again, put them together. Square root of 12 over square root of 3 is same as square root of 12 over 3, which is same as square root of 4, because 12 divided by 3 is 4, which of course we have here. The answer is C. That's all. Let me put demarcation here. Oh, there is another word. Look it up and learn it. Demarcation, which means boundary. I wanted to keep the two words separately so that you don't get confused. Let me look at the time in the camera. If I have the time to do something else, I'll do something else. Hold on. Oh, I'm only 6 minutes into it, so let's play along. Let's play around with it. Another way you could have solved this problem. So here we did the we are asked to find square root of 8 divided by square root of 2. We cannot figure out the square root of 8 and square root of 2 separately because they are not whole numbers. And trying to figure out separately would be, as I said, unadulterated hell. The key here is to put them together like we did here, which is why I gave you the two examples in the beginning. Put them together and then 8 over 2 becomes 4, square root of 4 is 2, same thing here, 12 over 3 becomes 4, and square root of 4 again is 2, therefore the answer is C. Now I'm going to do the same problem in a little different method, with a little different method. Here we did by division. I'm going to do the same problem with cross multiplication. I need room, so I'm going to have to erase these two examples. And I better pick up some speed because otherwise I'm going to go over 10 minutes. YouTube frowns upon situations where the videos go over 10 minutes. They don't like it. Here's what it is. This is the second method with cross multiplication. This is an L. Square root of 8 over square root of 2 and square root of 12 over square root of 3. I'm getting very paranoid, so I'm going to look at the clock one more time, see how I'm doing before actually, because that how much time I have taken will determine how much in depth I go into explaining this thing. Let me take a time. I'm 8 minutes into it. So here's what you do. If I were to multiply both sides of this, if I were to multiply column A and column B by root 2, what would happen? If I were to do that, the root 2 will cancel out here, and here I'll end up with root 2. Similarly, if I were to multiply both sides by root 3 and this side by root 3, this root 3 will go. So what do you end up with? We end up with the square root of 8 times square root of 3. And here I end up with square root of 2, or 12 rather, the square root of 12 times square root of 2. You see? I'm going to show you the same thing again a little bit differently. So in essence what we are doing is cross multiplying right here. This becomes square root of 8 times square root of 3. Square root of 8 times square root of 3, and this column becomes square root of 12 times square root of 2. As you can clearly see here, the remaining part is square root of 12 times the square root of 2. And here we have square root of 8 times square root of 3 right here. And now we know that square root of 8 times square root of 3 is same as square root of 24. I hope you know that. And here 12 square root of 12 times square root of 2 is same as 24. Just like we could put them together, same thing here, we can multiply them together. And since here we have square root of 24 and here we have square root of 24, what exactly square root of 24 is besides the point here. These are called quantitative comparison, not computation. I'm not going to sit there and compute this bloody thing. It doesn't matter whatever it is. The point here is whatever the hell it is, the same as this one here. Therefore the answer is C. I hope you found this helpful. If you wish to get hold of me for personal private tutoring, face-to-face tutoring, I'm in Connecticut. I do my tutoring in Connecticut, Massachusetts, Manhattan area, and so forth. Or I do tutoring over the phone, through the internet. If there is anything that I can do for you, send me an email. Go to my website at www.for4gre.com and send me an email for gre.com. Or you can send me an email through www.KeshwaniPrep.com. All right? Thank you.